I will also break this up and put these one by one on the movie review channel for you guys as well too. So okay, now the breakdown of the night. That let me just be honest, black people, this is your movie. This is your movie. Project Power is your movie. Do you understand? This is your movie. Okay, the whole genetic code, all the melanin conferences that we learned about that they have every 5 to 10 years to figure out how to crack the code for melanin, and Henrietta Lacks. This is your movie. I'm going to go very slow with this movie and take my time with this shit. I literally just finished watching this thing half an hour ago. Literally. Okay. Okay. So, in the vein of X-Men and Code 8 and Limitless, we have Project Power. Okay. Um, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, he plays Frank. Dominic Fishback is clearly the star of this movie, the little black girl that raps. She plays Robin. Jamie Foxx is Jamie Foxx. Listen, when is the last time Jamie Foxx has ever turned in a bad performance? He plays Art. Let's be honest. The only movie I care about Jamie Foxx right now is the Tyson biopic. That's all I care about at this point. Let me say this real quick. Once they shoot the biopic, the Tyson, I'm telling you right now, Jamie Foxx will go down as one of the greatest actors of any generation. Okay, you understand? Like, that's how locked in for Tyson he is. Like, we all know he can, the Ray thing and all the other shit. Listen, when Jamie Foxx knocks this shit out the fucking park with this Tyson biopic, fuck Will Smith, Muhammad Ali. No. I watched a 5-minute montage of Jamie Foxx as Mike Tyson. My God. Listen, another Academy Award is coming for that too. I don't give a fuck. Listen, I don't give a fuck what Corey Holcomb says about Jamie Foxx. I don't give a fuck about none of that. None of the stories we've all heard. I don't give a fuck. This dude is a phenomenal character actor. You would be hard pressed to find me another better character actor than Jamie Foxx. Black, white, red, blue, green. I don't give a fuck who. You'd be hard pressed to name me somebody right now that's better than Jamie Foxx as a character actor. Okay. Now let's move forward to this movie. Also, Rodrigo Santoro is in this movie. Well, Sly, who the fuck is Rodrigo Santoro? Yeah, if you watch 300, he played Xerxes. He's in this movie. Okay. So that I had to get that out the way. I had to give a shout out to the chirp for Nick's sake. Lacquer, hey mama. Let's see. All right, so let me get into this. So there's a gang meeting in a shipping yard for power. It's a drug. Okay. Machine Gun Kelly's in this as well as two. 6 weeks later, there's 911 phone calls flooded with calls about superhuman feats from the taking the pill power. Okay. Robin gets jumped trying to sell power. They're discovered by Frank the cop. He lets the 3 offenders leave. Frank and Robin have a working relationship. She supplies him power. He's a cop. Okay. He gives her a dirt bike from the police impound. Radio interviews talk about videos of superhuman feats. A kid running 35 miles per hour. Now let's get into the human realities of that. If a human ran 35 miles an hour, his tendons would explode. You understand? That's scientific. If you ran more than 35 miles an hour, your fucking tendons would explode. But, I'm trying to keep this thing grounded. All right? Art is looking for Newt, played by Machine Gun Kelly. Art wants to know who's supplying them the power. Newt's face is partially burned from using power before. Newt pops a power pill and then turns into a living inferno. Literally, he's a man on fire. And I don't mean the movie. Okay. He begins to chase Art down while setting everything ablaze. Newt then flames out and he pops another pill. So you take the power pill and it gives you whatever powers that's unlocked inside of you for 5 minutes. Or if you take a pill, it will kill you. So, all right. Now, another pill. Art runs into an apartment, turns on the shower, and then catches Newt and throws him in a tub of water. Newt gives up Biggie. Rodrigo plays Biggie. He's the supplier. Before he implodes, he explodes from overuse. Okay. There's a flashback scene of Art's daughter being kidnapped after a car crash. The next day, Robin goes to school. Her mom has diabetes. She needs money for an operation. This is why Robin is selling power. Okay. Art has Newt's phone. Robin knows Newt. They're cousins. She's texting him thinking he survived the fire. Robin's teacher chastises her, says she's getting a D in class. The teacher sends her to the principal's office. She then ditches school. Frank takes a robbery call. He breaks procedure. He pops a power pill and enters the building. It's a bank robbery. The bank robber's powers is invisibility. He's invisible. Frank gives chase. The bank robber gets hit in the face with a dye pack. Frank catches up to the robber. The robber grabs Frank's gun and shoots Frank in the temple. Frank is bulletproof. That's his power. He then tackles the robber and begins to beat him. He misses a punch and then cracks the street. He misses. He's beating him. He's on top of him, beating him, and he misses and he cracks the pavement underneath, crushing the pavement when he punched it. Okay. The captain and Frank have a heart-to-heart. They begin a covert operation. Captain gives Frank a picture of Art. Captain tells Frank Art is the source of the power. Okay. Art is in a diner. He reads an article of a man from Slidell outrunning police on foot, clocked at 45 miles per hour. This all takes place in New Orleans. Cindy, you're on the backup channel. This phone's going to die. The main channel is where everybody's pretty much at. Anyone that's on the backup, I'm looking at you guys right now. This is going to die in about 5 minutes. So go to the main channel. All right. Robin comes to the meeting place looking for Newt. Art then flattens the tires of Robin's dirt bike. Art then takes her hostage. Frank calls Robin for a re-up. Art tells Robin Newt is dead. He threatens to knock her ass out and kill her mama Irene. Biggie then meets with a South American drug dealer. Biggie has after effects of using power. Okay. Frank is tracking down Art. Robin then texts Frank for help. Art sends Robin into a supermarket. Robin tells the store manager the major is here. The major then pops a power pill. Art and the store manager and 2 henchmen engage in combat. Art is shot. He rescues Robin and mistakes her for his daughter Tracy. Art then finds a control room. Art says the government allowed the testing of power on regular people, aka lab rats. Now, where have we heard this before? There's pictures of Newt and the female drug dealer on the screen. There's a demonstration plan later on that night. Art passes out. Robin then escapes. The store manager expels the bullets from his body, so he's invincible. The store manager, he gets shot. He wakes up. Bullets come out of his body. So that's his power. For 5 minutes, he's invincible. Art recovers and saves Robin from being killed by the store manager. Art then stabs the manager as his invincibility wears off. Okay, so Newt was Robin's cousin. Okay, Art tells Robin he's trying to find his daughter. Frank then shows up to Robin's and sees Irene, the mother, being harassed and questioned by members of the Telios. Okay. He then sneaks in the bathroom takes off his clothes, and plays like he's her lover. So then he uses like the racial thing against the agents and they end up leaving. That was funny. That was funny. Okay. The men leave. Frank plants a tracking device on their van. Robin's mom has diabetes and needs surgery. Art tells her to go to the army or to the. Oh, okay. So, Art and Robin are having a talk. Art tells her to go to the army, exploit the system, make it work for her, find her skill set, use her power. Okay, because she's making excuses for why she does what she does. He's like, there's ways around it. Use the system as the system uses you. You understand? Okay, he makes fun of her rapping skills. He calls her Cardi C. She then begins to freestyle off the words he gives her. He gives her the word feline, seismograph, and antibiotic. And she freestyles all three of these words into a rap. Okay, so then he's impressed. And he tells her that's her power. Art then tells Robin Telios is a defense contractor. They cracked the genetic code. Art was a bunch of Army Rangers selected. They were placed into a room of radiation that altered their genes. There's a brief flashback scene of Art's his torture scene. Art's daughter Tracy never got sick, got physically stronger as she got older. She has powers without the pill. Telios kidnapped Tracy. Flashback scene of Tracy's kidnapping plays out. Frank is talking to Telios agents. Art tails a guy to a secret demonstration in the back of a check cashing place. Biggie details. Wait. Okay, so Biggie gives the breakdown of how power works. Power is derived off animal abilities. The examples given were a lizard for body regeneration, an octopus for camouflage, a wolverine frog that breaks its own bones to use as weapons. So it breaks its own bones, it protrudes out of its skin, and then uses it for weapons. An owl for night vision, mice for body dexterity. Okay, so then Frank finds Robin. Frank wants to know where he is. Biggie gives a woman a power pill for demonstration. She begins to display thermal regulation power. This woman displays, she's like the Iceman. She has ice abilities, freezing abilities, but they have to keep the room for her warm, or else she'll freeze to death per se. You understand? If it makes sense. So then, Art breaks in, and then he approaches Biggie. He takes him hostage. Everybody has guns drawn. A henchman pops a pill. He then explodes. A shootout happens. Okay. This is the best part of the movie, clearly. So now the viewpoint goes inside the cage or the tube with the woman. So while she's freezing to death, in each pane of the window of the glass, you see some action. Someone's getting shot, stabbed, beat up. It's a beautifully shot scene. And all the while, you see this going through the glass. The woman is literally freezing to death. Her hand breaks off. You know how liquid nitrogen, you freeze the body part and you remove it and it breaks off. So she's dying from basically from freezing, she turns into an icicle. She ends up dying. Okay. Art then recaptures Biggie, shoots off his fingers. Frank approaches Art from behind. Biggie pops a power pill and begins to turn into a 10-foot behemoth. If you watched the movie, seen the movie, what is it called? Not The Extraordinary Gentleman, was it? It had Sean Connery. He played a character. They had Jekyll and Hyde. They had The Invisible Man. That movie, he turns into like that version of Mr. Hyde, the big, bulbous, gigantic, muscular, crazed individual. That's what Biggie turns into, just like that particular creature. Okay. Okay, so then during the chase, Art untaps gas cylinders and then shoots the cylinders and he blows up Biggie in the process. Frank then steals some power pills. Frank takes Art into custody to the captain. Yes, thank you, League of Distinguished Gentlemen. That David, there you go. That's I knew somebody. I got sharp. I got sharp audience. Sharp guys. Okay. So then Art tells Frank New Orleans is a testing site and that his captain is compromised. They're field testing to see if the compound can be stabilized for mass production. Frank then leaves Art in the car for the Telios agents to find. Art is taken to the shipping port to the ship where they're about to sail off to sea. Okay, to the original shipping yard that you see from the beginning of the movie. Okay, Frank then pops a pill and then breaks in. Art meets the doctor, and the doctor tells Art the story of Henrietta Lacks. Frank is shot at the gate. Ant is told Tracy has permanent powers. Robin then infiltrates the ship. Frank begins his plan to rescue Art. He encounters a loosely jointed power like Plastic Man. So he's fighting this dude. This dude is extremely beyond double jointed. He's flexible like a mofo. Plastic Man. He then pulls one of his arms into the path of a door. Art then tells one of the guards the powers derived from animals. He tells the story of a pistol shrimp. He then shows the guard the pill before he shows the guard I got the pill. He said, you want to guess what my power is? Now the pistol shrimp. Let me I thought it was bullshit. Okay? I thought it was bullshit. I said, let me look this up for real. The pistol shrimp. This is a real thing. The pistol shrimp has two claws, a small pincer and an enormous snapper. The snapper, which can grow up to half length of the shrimp's body, does not have two symmetrical halves like the pincer. Instead, half of it is immobile, called a propus, which has a socket. The other half, called a dactyl, is the mobile part. It has a plunger that fits into the socket. The shrimp opens the dactyl by co-contracting both an opener and closer muscle. This builds tension until another closer muscle contracts, setting the whole thing off with incredible force. But that's not the killer part. The killer part is this. This thing it shoots water at a high rate of speed, and it'll either knock its opponent out or kill it. But this is the crazy part. Okay. It says it essentially creates a cavitation bubble, said coral reef biologist Nancy Knowlton of the Smithsonian Institute. And when the bubble collapses, it generates that snap sound as opposed to the impact of the claws making the noise. More importantly, the collapse of the bubble generates for a split second temperatures of 8,000 degrees Fahrenheit, nearly as hot as the surface of the sun, and also oddly a flash of light. The resulting shock wave bombards the shrimp's prey, which, if it's lucky, will die instantly because it's then dragged into the pistol shrimp's burrow and consumed. What in the fuck? I did not know there's actual creatures that can create temperatures this hot. Who knew? Holy shit. Okay, so then the guard frees Art. Art then squares off with the bearded man who kidnapped his daughter from the beginning. Frank shows up, tosses the shotgun to Art before getting punched in the chest. Art then shoots the bearded man twice in the chest with the shotgun. Robin then finds Tracy. Tracy is covered in stitches. She has an incision in the back of her neck, so that's brain stem, and she has an incision in the side of her neck. That's lymph node type shit. Okay, so they done experimented on the girl. Robin finds Tracy. Tracy's covered in stitches. Art is reunited with Tracy. A henchman pops a power pill, and his bones begin to break and then protrude out like weapons, aka the Wolverine frog. Art engages him, then stabs him with his own bone spur. Robin gets captured. Art pops a pill, then surrenders. Art begins to incinerate the bullets being fired at him by the guards. He incinerates the guards around him. He kills everything around him. He is he's the pistol shrimp. That is his power. Okay. He eviscerates a crane. A crane falls on top of the doctor, killing her instantly. After all, everyone's pretty much dead and laid out. Tracy uses her healing powers to revive her father. And then all four escape via lifeboat. Okay. Frank decides to be a whistleblower. Art and Tracy drive off. Art left Robin a bag of money for her mother's operation. Robin becomes a rapper as her song plays on the radio. The end. Black people, you win in this movie. And I'm seeing the reviews from a lot of non-black reviewers, and they're not happy. When's the last time we saw this? We saw this with Will Smith's After Earth. There was a bunch of non-positive reviews because the black people are special and they're the ones, okay, and they win in the end. It's on Netflix. See this movie, Project Power. You do yourself a favor, okay? I like the world building. I hope they greenlight a sequel for this thing. I want to see more backstory or more different people that had the power pill. I want to see different power sets. I would love for them to explore this. This reminded me of Bright with Will Smith and the white dude. I forget his name. Joel, I forget. Whatever. This reminded me of Bright. I like Bright. So, yes, it's on Netflix. It just came out today. Go see it. Now,